kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have two, don't go having another one. If you have one, don't go having two more.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the scamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio.
It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents. If you watch a video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking.
Welcome to the Full Motion Podcast, brought to you by Full Motion Music Group at www.fullmotionmusicgroup.com. The only artist development company that sits down with you to build your brand, create your Wikipedia page, launch your Google Knowledge panel, design your artist website, and guarantees income from your first project together. As an independent artist, doing everything alone is very tough. So log on, connect with the A&R professional, and take your career to the level it deserves. Welcome to the podcast. You are now tuned in to the Full Motion Podcast. My name is Swigger Giovanni. But before we get into the artist development tip of the day, let's tap in with everything moving in the music, culture, and entertainment. Now let's talk politics for a second. The government shutdown is back on the table, and Louisiana Senator John Kennedy, known for his sharp tongue and one-liners, had a few things to say about where the Democrats are spending your money. Now, Kennedy's a Republican who's never shy about calling out what he sees as waste in Washington. Let's hear the clip.
Basically, President Trump just said, we want you to take some stuff out of the budget that we think is wasteful. And we did. And that upset the Congresswoman. She's entitled to be upset if she wants to. But that really upset the socialist wing of the party. And so we took out, and here's what they want us to put back in. We found that under President Biden, they were spending $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia. We took that out. The Congresswoman says, we're going to shut down government till you put that back in. We found $500,000 of American taxpayer money for electric buses in Rwanda. We found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. That was in the budget under President Biden. We took it out. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez in the socialist wing, the loon wing of the Democratic Party, says we're going to shut down government until you put it back in. I'll just read you a few more that we took out. They are demanding we put back in. $6 million for media organizations for the Palestinians. $833,000 for transgender people in Nepal. $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho. $882,000 for social media mentorship in Serbia. $4.2 million. We took it out. The Congresswoman and the socialist wing of their party says we got to put that back in for the open government. $4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda. I could spend the rest of the afternoon here. We took all that out. It upset Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. It upset the socialist wing of her party. And now that wing of her party and the Congresswoman are threatening all other Democrats and saying, you've got to shut that government down until we get what we want. And part of what they want is to add this kind of stuff back into the bill.
Damn. Circumcisions in Zambia. Pastry cooking classes for male prostitutes in Haiti. And $4.2 million for the LGBTQ community in Uganda. Listen, I'm really not into politics. I don't know what's going on, but I know that our money shouldn't go towards this. I mean, they cutting off food stamps because of this, bro. And then now, the U.S. is about to be in a whole frenzy because of this, man. And listen, he's not wrong about some of that spending being wild, but listen, pointing the finger don't fix the problem. Both sides need to figure out how to stop playing games with people's paychecks. And while we're on the topic of government spending and the shutdown, a lot's been happening around the world this week, some of it connected and some of it just wild on its own. Let's run through a few quick headlines. So the government shutdown is putting pressure on millions of Americans, and DoorDash is stepping up, announcing 1 million free meals for SNAP recipients after the USDA said food aid may stop November 1st. Over in China, new internet rules are forcing influencers to get professional license before they talk about finance, medicine, education, or law. The government says it's about stopping misinformation, but many see it as tighter control over free speech. No. They are misinforming a lot of people, and a lot of people getting sick making these stupid potions, taking all this pills and all this other crap. So I like what China's doing with that one. I appreciate China for that one. And Vice President Kamala Harris, she's talking about a presidential run in a BBC interview, saying she's opening to stepping back into the race. And Haiti's hunger crisis is worsening. There's families in some of the poorest areas in Haiti. They're eating sun-dried mud cookies made with dirt, salt, and oil to fight starvation. See, now I'm all about free Palestine, but we need to free Haiti from what's going on over there too. Now, entertainment news, Nelly Furtado, I don't know if y'all fans of Nelly Furtado, she's quitting music. I don't know why. Dylan Efron, Zac Efron's brother, broke his nose during Dancing with the Stars. I think somebody punched him in his nose, but who knows? And there's one person that's dead and 6 injured after a shooting at Lincoln University's homecoming. A lot of people was talking about homecoming. Ari was a little misinformed about homecoming too, you know. We'll talk about that later. And French police, they arrested 2 suspects in connection with the jewel heist at the Louvre Museum in Paris. So 2 people got locked up. It's a lot of money, man, that they stole, man. Crime doesn't pay, I guess, you know what I mean? And there's a new study from Stanford and Harvard. They found out quitting a job can add more years to your life than quitting smoking. I mean, y'all could do more research on that. I have more information on fullmotionmusicgroup.com about all of these headlines. But yeah, quitting a toxic job can add more years to your life than quitting smoking. But yeah, while we're talking about spending and responsibilities, let's pivot to a different kind of responsibility, one inside a marriage and a man's health. Now, in their recent Breakfast Club interview, Gucci Mane and Keyshia laid out a side of their life that we don't always see, his diagnosis of bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, and how she watches for warning signs, limits his social media access, and helps him stay grounded. Now, some people online are asking questions. Is this hardcore support or is this something different? Controlling behavior disguised as care. Some speculate about spiritual or cultural practices in play. So before we play these clips, here's what I want you to listen for. How she describes his behavior before and after episode. Her role, not simply a partner, but like a gatekeeper of his apps, his public image, and how he talks about fear, the voices, and all of that, right? So I'll pull a few clips from that interview so you can hear it for yourself. So let's run them back and we'll talk about what people are saying.
I'm his power of attorney. He ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like, I have to be strict. It's kind of like you have to go in mother mode, you know, and put your foot down.
Were you ever scared?
Each word. And I'm like, you're going through an episode. You're sick. No, I'm not. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Why do you think that? You're not speaking to me. Well, there's nothing to talk about. I said, well, that's not how you speak to your wife. And I'm like, you're sick. And we snap out of it, right?
Me to put it in words, you know what I'm saying?
Him being Gucci Man without me, no one helped him because he's the artist. No one is going to say, Gucci, you're not well. Gucci, you need medicine. They just keep on. We had this conversation many years ago. I said, Gucci, you just have to accept that you're not well and fix it. Just accept it. I said, people take Tylenol every day. Just take your medication every day. You'll be fine. Just accept that you're sick. The first thing you need is medication. It cannot go unmedicated. And the quicker, the better. And he doesn't stay sick long. Like I said, it takes 14 days to get him back. And after like day 3, he's already coming to his senses.
Coming to his senses. I don't like how she said that, but I don't know. I'll let y'all decide, man. What y'all think? Is she being a good wife or is she taking it too far? Because these comments are split right down the middle, man. All right, let's bring it back to you, the artist, the content creator. And this is where we focus on your business and your brand. Now, today's artist development tip of the day is about knowing your mark, knowing your goal, and knowing your dollar amount. See, too many artists and content creators just jump in, recording music, recording songs, recording content with no real plan, no target, and no idea what their time is worth. And you need to treat your music like a business, and that starts with setting a clear financial goal. And here's a breakdown of what 1 million views or streams will look like across different platforms. So with YouTube, 1 million views is around $3,000 to $5,000. TikTok, roughly $20 to $50. And everything is 1 million. So 1 million views will give you this dollar amount. So with Instagram, that's around $1,000 to $1,500. Now X, formerly known as Twitter, you get about $8 to $9 per million views. Spotify, around $3,000 to $5,000. Apple Music, around $10,000. Tidal, around $12,800. Google Play, around $6,700. Now these are before taxes, fees, or label cuts, but those numbers give you something to aim for. Knowing them helps you plan out how many views, streams, or releases you need to reach your goal. And if you want help building a real plan to hit those numbers, connect with Full Motion Music Group. We'll help you set your targets, define your strategy, and turn your plans into paychecks. Turn your plays into paychecks. Because being an artist isn't just about talent. It's about direction, goals, and execution. Know your mark, know your goal, and know your dollar. And I'll break it down a little more, right? So these are like typical payout benchmarks, right? So again, I'll go with TikTok. Now, if you want your music to play on TikTok, so where people do dances with your music, that's $20 to $50 for 1 million views, right? And that's only for creative payout programs. Many of them don't qualify. With Instagram Reels and views to get your music on that, that's $1,000 to $1,500. Like I said, with Twitter, it's $8 to $9. Now with YouTube, for music streams, not music videos, music streams on YouTube, for 1 million streams, it's $690 versus the video. So you want to shoot your music videos and get your streams. Now with Apple Music, 1 million streams is $10,000. Tidal, like I said, $12,840 for 1 million streams. And Google Play, $6,760 for 1 million streams. And like I said, if you want a real plan, if you want help building a real plan, connect with us, all right? We'll help you set your targets, help you set your goal, we'll define your strategy, and we'll turn your plan into a paycheck, all right? It's not just about talent, it's about direction, goals, and execution, all right? Know your mark, know your goal, and know your dollar amount. And that wraps up another episode of the Full Motion Podcast, powered by FullMotionMusicGroup.com. Visit www.FullMotionMusicGroup.com to connect with an A&R professional and start building your brand today. Stay focused, stay consistent, and stay in motion. My name is Swigger Giovanni. Peace out.